Welcome back. Today we're making a topsy-turvy caramel apple upside-down cake, a Charlotte's Web fair treat. This is an ode to Wilbur's favorite treats and Templeton's escapades or adventures around the fairgrounds. A recipe comes to us from Sally's Baking and it looks delicious. All right, you know the drill. Let's collect our tools and ingredients. We're going to start with our tools first. We've got a small saucepan, a whisk, an ungreased 9 by 12 inch pie dish, 2 inches deep. This is a little less, but it should be okay. The only thing that might happen with something a little smaller is you might have a little overfill, but it should be fine. And then we've got a mixing bowl, a handheld or stand mixer, spatula, foil, a wire rack for cooling, a toothpick, and a pie cake stand, serving plate, pie plate, anyway. And then an oven and a stovetop for the adults. All right, so for the ingredients, we're gonna take this all away and then bring in the ingredients. So we'll see in a second. All right, so these are the ingredients. Don't panic, I know it looks like a lot, but we'll work through them each one. Okay, so there's two elements to this, the topping and the cake. So we'll start with the topping first. So we've got 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter, half packed light or dark brown sugar, which means you smoosh it down, unlike the flour, which we do the spoon method and we pour it over. And then we've got a 1/4 teaspoon ground cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon vanilla. We've got 2 medium apples. Now we will be peeling these and slicing them into 1/4 inch slices, but I didn't want them to brown. So just pretend like they're already done, but we'll get there. All right, so that's for the topping. So now we've got the cake. So we've got 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, and then, like I said, spoon and level method to make sure we get the right amount. We've got 1½ teaspoons baking powder, 1½ teaspoons ground cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon ground nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1 stick of unsalted butter, room temperature, which is going to be a challenge in winter. We've got 1/2 cup granulated sugar and 1/2 cup packed light or dark brown sugar. So if it looks like there's a little less, I'm trying to back out of the sugar just a little bit because it seems like there's plenty of sugar to go around in these recipes. So that's why it doesn't look quite like it might for yours. And then we've got 2 large eggs, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, and 6 tablespoons whole milk, room temperature. All right, we're ready to rumble. All right, so for the top view, we're going to go through them again just in case you couldn't see them. So again, the 2 elements, we've got the topping and the cake. So for the topping, we've got 6 tablespoons unsalted butter, 1/2 cup packed light or dark brown sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon ground cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon vanilla extract, 2 medium apples, which we will peel and slice into 1/4 inch slices. And then for the cake, we've got 1½ cups all-purpose flour, 1½ teaspoons baking powder, 1½ teaspoons ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon ground nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1 stick of unsalted butter, room temperature, 1/2 cup granulated sugar, 1/2 cup packed light or dark brown sugar, 2 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 6 tablespoons whole milk, room temperature. All right, so step 1, preheat the oven to 350 degrees. And while the oven is heating, we'll start with the topping. So I've already made it, so I'm just going to describe to you what we did because we're not in the kitchen. So in a small saucepan over medium heat, again for an adult, combine the butter and the brown sugar. Whisk now and then, so not constantly, until the butter melts, then whisk constantly for 1 minute to thicken. Take it off the heat and whisk in the cinnamon and vanilla extract, and then pour in the pie dish. Okay, so now you're caught up. All right, so we're going to take our apple slices. Remember, we had the 2 apples, which we peeled and then cut into 1/4 inch slices. So just, small. Don't worry about it too much. And we're going to go ahead and arrange the apple slices, fancy like, on top, and overlapping if needed. It's totally fine. And then we're going to put this into the fridge for a few minutes to set while we make the batter. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the apples. So just go ahead and plop it in there. Be careful, it might be still warm, depending on when you made the item. Go around in circles. And then we're going to go ahead and do a top-down view for you so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Wait. Whoopsies. It's way too exciting. A little chunky. Feels like a lot of apples. So I chose very big apples, apparently, because this is looking a little crazy. But again, that's okay. And it's okay if they layer, which they're really gonna have to in this case, because this seems like a lot of apples. So I'm gonna go a different way now, because I can. Maybe you'll see it in the end result of it. Happy, what are you doing? I hope it's okay. It's this tall. I think you're gonna have to stop. Right? Because it's like seems excessive. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna stop there because this seems real tall, and I'm a little bit afraid of it overflowing. So yeah, I think we're good there. All right. So now that we have our apples in our mixture, we're gonna go ahead and start the cake batter. So we're gonna whisk up our flour. Aha, didn't escape this time. Our baking powder, cinnamon and nutmeg, and salt. So we're going to whisk that, and then we're going to set it aside. Nope, too cold. There we go. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and whisk that up. Nothing crazy, just mixing it up. Okay, so now we're going to set this aside, and we're going to do the next step, although it's very kitchen heavy, so I'm just going to kind of describe it to you. Okay, so step 4. In another bowl, you're going to use your mixer to beat the softened butter on high speed until it's smooth and creamy. So about a minute. Add the granulated sugar and the brown sugar, then beat on high until creamed together, about a minute. Scrape down the sides of the bowl when needed. Beat in the eggs and vanilla extract on high until combined, scraping if needed. Pour the dry ingredients into the wet ones with the mixer on low so it doesn't explode, and then slowly pour in the milk and mix until everything's combined. Don't overmix though. If there are lumps, whisk by hand. Okay, so that we're going to do off camera, and then we're going to come back with it done. So we'll see you in a minute. All right, so this is what essentially what it should look like for the cake and the cake batter. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pour and spread it over our topping or apples. I also covered up the hole in the middle with more apples, so hopefully that works out just fine. All right, so go ahead and spread onto the topping. And it's nice and thick, so won't escape you as easily. And we'll go ahead and give you a top-down view in just a second. So we're just going to gently spread it so we don't disrupt the apples too much. Mm-hmm. All right. Just want it nice and evenly spread. And then once we're done with this, we're going to bake it for 40 to 46 minutes. Halfway through, though, we're going to tint some foil over the top to keep it from browning too much. And then once it's done, once you think it's done, place a toothpick poked in the center. And if it comes out mostly clean, a few crumbs, don't worry about it. And if it rises a lot, it's fine because we're going to flip it over. But if it's mostly clean, then go ahead and pull it. All right, we're looking good. So we're going to go ahead and put this in the oven, and we'll see you later. Okay, are we ready? Okay, and we're going to do this with such confidence. Okay, okay, it's very heavy. Okay, everything's fine. That could have been so bad. Is it okay? Okay, yeah, and we didn't have to fish it out, so that's exciting. Ooh, purdy. It smells very good, by the way. Okay, there she blows. Here she is. That's beautiful. Ooh. I know we don't have like smell-o-vision or anything, but it seriously is smells very good. And the bowl that I did lick tasted very good as well. Okay, now the instructions are not to cut into it until it's cool, but for you, I will do it ahead of time, even though it's steaming up my glasses. All right, now we're going to do a overhead view first before I decimate this, and so we'll see you in that shot. Oh, spirit fingers. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to get crazy because I'm not supposed to be cutting into it so soon. I'm just going to take a little bite. We has to know, like Templeton, and just eat around the edges. And I got a dish, but I'm not going to use it. Let me get a good bite of everything. It smells very good. It does look extremely moist. Wow. That's really good. And I used probably half the sugar it called for. And to me, and I have a sweet tooth, it's plenty sweet. Keep that in mind. It's really good. You get the layer of apples, obviously, but the brown sugar and the cinnamon and the nutmeg comes through. It's not Christmassy, but it's kind of like a really good muffin, like a really good tasty muffin mixed with an apple pie. It's very good. The texture is on the dense side, but that's not a negative. It's not fluffy, but it's so moist, and the outside rim has that caramelization. It's very good. By far the tastiest thing that we've made together. So wow, very excited about this. I hope you make this, and it's not the most complicated thing we've made, which is nice. It's not the least complicated thing we've made, but it's not the most. And it's very good, and it's going to reheat really well too, which is nice. So it's not something that's going to lose that texture once you reheat it. It's very good. So I hope you make it. I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, I'm gonna eat this for a while. So I'll see you next time.